Death be not proud.
Alright, you ignorant pigs, listen up. This is another 40K battle report, and I'm putting this out there as a double header. This is the only war scenario played twice, and it's first match, second match. The second match, of course, being a rematch against me and the Necrons. The first game, there were some things we did right, things we did wrong, and Necrons looking pretty strong this edition with their resurrection and everything, just like from what I've seen so far. They're going to be really annoying to deal with. Yeah, really, really annoying. So they have that going for them. As for like why we chose to play the exact same scenario again, it's just convenient because we also didn't change lists from game to game. So this will be the last one that I put up on YouTube. The very next one is going to be our first Crusade battle report, which will be going up on Patreon. And then when I make the second video in the Crusade, that video immediately goes over to Rumble. So if you want the latest videos and you want to watch them for free, you can always watch them on Rumble. And then when I get to the third video in the series, that first video will come over to YouTube so that you can watch it there at your leisure. In any case, we're going to get into this first game, and we'll see you soon. Alright, so we got a unit of Necron Warriors with those ghoul flares right there. What are they, is that what they're called?
What you said? Crypto.
And what's that thing?
That is a reanimator.
Alright, then you got a Ghost Ark.
Yep.
With guys in it, and this is the other kind of Ghost Ark. Doomsday Ark. Snipers right there. What are those guys?
Those are Lich Guard with Crypto Thralls. There's a Hexmark Destroyer.
Right.
Nemesor and a Technomancer.
And then that guy up on top?
That's another reanimator.
Reanimator, and then three destroyers
heavy
right there?
destroyers with a Lord.
Alright. And then as for the Orks, we got Death Dread, Truck with Boys, Gretchen, guys, Hog Boys. Oh, there's the War Boss in there with the knobs. And then we got Truck with Boys, Biker, not to mention the Big Mech with his unit of Mega Knobs, another Truck with Boys, another Death Dread, another unit of Hog Boys, Commandos up in the center. Necrons have first turn. So, Necrons are done moving. It looks as such across the board. No movement from the Ghost Ark, no movement from the Snipers, and that's it. So, Commandos lost a unit, lost a guy there, lost two in that unit. Down to one wound on this truck, and then we took 4 on this Death Dread right there, and that sums up the Necrons' turn 1. We're going into Orks. So I would have moved this truck up with an advance, but I moved it up before I was done moving everything else, so it had to stay put because I did that wrong. Other than that, Ork movement looks like this, and I moved the Commandos closer. I think I'll advance those guys to get in, to push in towards that objective. I think that's the most prudent thing. And we got a 1, so it doesn't matter anyway. So I shot with the rocket launcher, killed 1. I'm going to shoot the rest of the pistols here, see if I do anything else. You got 1 at no AP, and then we're within rapid fire range, so we're also going to shoot our big shooters at the same unit.
You little bitch.
You save it?
Alright, so that's my movement. Okay.
Or you got your 4+. Saved. Alright, that was only 1 wound. We actually got some big hits with the big shooters. You got 5 on you with big shooters from the trucks. No AP.
No AP.
Mm-hmm. What do you got?
This gives you assault on all fronts, or engage on all.
Alright, so that another one of those little guys dies then?
I'll take a...
I don't quite have that one yet, but I got 3.
I'll take one of these boys.
Alright, cool. And that is Ork shooting. Movement looks like this. We just kind of mobbed onto the objective. And there you go. So it goes back to Necrons 2. So movement for Necrons, he didn't want to get too close, so he didn't move very much. He's already gotten that objective. The score is 2-2. He's starting his shooting phase, and these destroyers have already destroyed the truck. I deadly demised over on him, and now he's shooting commandos. You need 4s. What's your ballistic skill?
I'm hitting on 2s.
So you're hitting on 3s because of stealth.
Okay. I also have lethal hits, so...
Alright, any 6s automatically generate.
I got a Lord, so that actually goes down to 5.
Correct. Alright. So after Necron shooting, it looks kind of like this. You got 1 knob there by himself, who passed Battle Shock, by the way. on a 9, and then you got 8 wounds on that truck with the boys in it, and now he's going to go into assaults. So Lichguard swung into this poor boy who's on his last legs. I'm not going to make that many saves. I've already failed the 1. There's 2. So rather than say I could re-roll that with the CP, we'll just let him see what he does. He does not explode. He's just gone. All right. So we got a destroyed Death Dread. We want revenge. We've surrounded this unit, and I don't want them to escape. I moved this truck over there and that truck, both of these trucks to be on my home objective, so I still score the next turn. And then I moved this to get as close to that objective as I could. And then over here, we got out the knobs, and we're going to try to go on to this blob squad here. I don't know if I want to do that, but I'm going to figure something out. Over here, I just brought as many bodies as I could towards this objective here, so that maybe I can contest it away from my buddy here. So you're probably noticing like the commandos in the center of the board on that objective. Okay, so the warriors can't see into the building. I can't see out of the building. The only way you can see into the building is to see through the gap in the center. We played that as infinite height, and you can't see through it. So even though we're sitting there in the windows, I haven't been shooting at him, he hasn't been shooting at me. Any kind of firing that's been going through has all been coming through the center or the sides of that building. So that's the reasoning behind that. So he's still got that objective that's right on the other side. I'm just trying to contest it with the commandos by getting bodies on that objective. That's right there where his warriors are, right in the center of that building. Or just on the outside, but the building in the center. Another thing I noticed were the crypto thralls. We were actually doing that wrong this game. So he was taking a 4+ feel no pain save for the entire unit. That's not how that works. It's the crypt tech who gets the 4+ feel no pain. The unit, he has to take all of that on the majority toughness. So if I'm shooting at the warriors are basically at their he's got a character in there that gives him a 4+ invulnerable save. So we kind of did that wrong because I assumed that they had a 3+, but I noticed that he was taking it on the 4+ later on during my turn too. So he was taking a 4+ invulnerable save the entire time, but then he was also taking the 4+ feel no pain. And I was like, why can't I kill these guys and they won't stay down? And then I also noticed that he can just reanimate with the Ghost Arc, which brings anything I would have killed out of that unit just right back to life on that other side, right where my commandos are fighting. The Death Dread didn't fare so well, lost a truck, so you know what I'm trying to do now at the top of my turn was I've already declared the WA. I think it's actually stupid that you have to declare the WA at the top of the battle phase. It does last for an entire turn. It lasts during his turn as well, but I should be able to declare the WA during my turn at any given time. So because, you know, depending on how that works, you know, that would give him an entire turn to move away from me and stuff like that. But what I've set him up for is I want to charge everything I've got into the Lichguard unit to see if I can kill it. And that's where I'm at there, and I'm just going to bomb into the warriors and hope for the best there and see if I can kill them. And that's basically where I'm at the top of my turn too. All right, so we're going to see what the bikes do against this unit. This is the only unit I'm going to shoot for the camera here. Bam! And not much. Wow, look at that. Wow, yeah, they wrote Orks to be so great. You're -1 to wound, so I did 1. There you go. Isn't that great? Mm-hmm.
Any AP?
1. Hey, take a 5+.
1 wound?
1 wound, I'll take it. You don't have another wound on there.
What was that? A charge or?
No, that was just their machine guns firing at you. But isn't that hilarious? Oh, Orks are so hilarious.
Plus, they all hit.
They all hit? What's your damage?
The Overlord's blade is devastating wounds, so that's 2 mortal wounds right off the bat.
2 mortal wounds, okay.
Toughness or strength 8.
Yeah, 6.
I think that's 2 hits, right?
Yeah, so that's 2 wounds. Okay,
And
so
-3 AP.
-3 AP. That puts me on my 5+ invulnerable. So I got 1.
So that's 4 damage.
So that's going to be, how many damage is that?
That's 4. Well, that's 1 hit, right?
Yeah, 1 hit.
Okay, so that's 4 damage.
4 damage
2,
flat?
4.
All right.
6
I
actually.
already have a bunch of attacks, and then
You get a fight on death, and it looks like you killed my war boss in your epic challenge. We'll check into that afterwards. So let's see what the Squighog boys do to this
So I got
unit.
your war boss back, huh?
Yeah, you got him back, but you have to pay the CP to do that.
No, that's part of my Crypto Thrall ability.
Cryptothal ability, you get to attack the model that attacked you.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Even like on my side and your side.
Yeah, everything I did did not work. Every
Yeah, so each time a model in this unit is destroyed by a melee attack, if that model has not fought yet this roll, roll what d6. On a 3+, do not remove it from play. The destroyed model can fight back.
So we just did 8 -1 to there, and now we're going to go with the Squigog Jaws, see what they do. Go ahead and roll your saves, yeah. 8 -1.
Did you add your -1 to hit?
My -1 to hit is in shooting.
That's really expensive.
It's pretty. I think they're 190.
That is so expensive.
And that's what I was
So
That is so expensive.
I saved 4.
Even my heavy
You got a 3-up save with Necrons?
Even my
Yeah.
aggressive
All right,
squad
you
is
saved
like
4.
120.
2 wounds each, so you got to roll that many.
Dude,
Okay,
my
so
aggressive
they're all dead.
So there's 3 dead.
And that's why
You have a 4+?
And I know
Yeah.
my aggressive
4
side
plus feel no
way
pain
more
because of
4
these
plus
guys.
still no pain. Okay, we'll call it good at that. All right, boom.
he can attach to them.
So I'll take a Crypto Thrall and...
And you'll have to take a warrior or both Crypto Thralls.
So now what I think I gotta do
Alright,
is
but
I gotta
I think these guys can fight, technically.
All right, let me finish off the rest of my... you don't get to fight unless you interrupt.
Well, no, my Crypto Thralls, but we'll do that after.
All right. Squighog Jaws do you for 3 more, -1. 2 damage each.
do that.
Those guys are cool. Like,
Because I think I can have.
Alright, save.
It really sucks. Salamander captains can't really join.
Gotta roll one more.
Same with
One
the
more.
Imperial Fist.
2 damage. All right, so one more dice. All right.
choices are
And that's it for this combat over here. We'll just go to the knobs. So this is what it looks like after combat. I've done very good to hem him in. So seeing as how I'm fighting, I won't get precision shotted out of that fight because there's no way he can escape, which is good for the turn. And then over here, he just brought all of these guys back. I didn't think that you could just get up like that. Like he brought, you get to roll 2d6 because of the Ghost Arc, which is, and he just brings back 7. And I didn't have enough guys to keep him from coming back, you know. So if there's no room, they can't place it, and if they're not in coherency, they can't go. I beat him by 1 here, so the score is officially 3 to 4, 5 to 4.
So, alright, after Orks turn 2, I noticed that I just kind of bounced off that Necron regiment like I wasn't even there. I mean, I put a lot of attacks into that, and the knobs in this edition, they're kind of like an auto-delete button, but not quite. So, I went through all the Necron stuff that had something to do with Resurrection, just based on what he was bringing in that brick of 20, you know. So what I noticed that he had Orikan the Diviner. That gives the unit a 4+ ward save. Pretty strong. He also had the Lord in there. Not too far away from that, he had the Ghost Arc, the 20-man Brick of Warriors, and the Canoptek Reanimator, not to mention the Crypto Thralls. So, from what I gather, is that he can tank all of his saves on the Crypto Thralls themselves, which gives the unit effectively a 4+ feel no pain. And then if those Crypto Thralls die, he can then start to bring them back as part of the unit. Now, I don't know if they die to a man, do they get to come back? Put that in the comments section below. I don't think that they can, because they're a separate unit in and of themselves that go inside the unit, and even though they become part of the unit, do they get to come back if they get wiped out to a man? From what I gather, that you can bring back the Crypto Thralls, but also, you know, when I was looking over like the protocols and the way everything works, basically the Ghost Arc allows you to activate the Resurrection protocols the moment you start to lose models. So let's say I hit you with a unit of knobs, you lose some models. So you get to, because you have your Resurrecting Warriors, you get to resurrect D6, and because the Res Orb's there, you get D3 plus 1, and because the Canoptek Reanimator's there, you get an additional D3. So that would, and then that would just equate to just a D6 plus 2D3 plus 1. All right, but this isn't like the tip of the iceberg. If you do this twice because you play the stratagem, which is the protocol of the Undying Legion stratagem, this becomes 2d6 plus 2d3 plus 2 wounds back. And that's like an average of 15 guys just standing back. And if you do this again in the close combat phase, which the, what do you call it? It's per phase. And this needs to get nerfed, by the way. This needs, whatever happened to, let's say you lay down every single Necron and on a 5+, he gets back up. They need to put it back to that because this gets horseshit level of ridiculous. So from just my charge phase alone, from shooting to charge and combat, you know, just basically he can resurrect, from what I gather, 3d6 plus 3d3 plus 3 warriors from all the way to shooting, just losing models into close combat, all in a single part of my turn. For the entire battle round, I think if you start in the battle round, he can actually do 66 plus 6d3 plus 2. Sorry, I was off by 1. For an entire turn, and I think that equates to something like even if you roll shitty, that's like 40 wounds. Granted, that's kind of expensive to do, but I also discovered that you can get a reroll for your resurrection if you bring the Convergence of Dominion, which I don't think a lot of people are going to use this combo. If you were to bring everything on that list, that's half of your army just trying to keep one warrior brick alive. So, you know, I mean, you only get one Orikan the Diviner. So you'll already have one unit that's pretty tough to keep down. But the fact that you can resurrect the Crypto Thralls back into the unit and then continue taking the 4+ fill mode pain, that does seem kind of broken. So just in the close combat phase alone, let's say I blow my load with the boys and he decides to do that back. All of the warriors stand back up. Well, now he plays the stratagem after my knobs go. And then they stand back up again for an additional D6 plus D3 plus 1, 2D3 plus 1. You know, and that's a lot of wounds. That's at least 11. Just standing back up. Especially after you did that twice, you know, and then it just also makes like orc shooting completely worthless against Necrons, you know. I mean, just completely worthless. Like, just spread your shooting out, because if he activates any kind of reanimation protocols, any shooting that you did do is just automatically gone. Oh, look, I did 2 wounds. I rolled D3. Oh, look, I rolled the average of a 3 on a single dice. All the wounds you did to my vehicle are gone. You know, so, I mean, if you were to actually combine that with the Convergence of Dominion Fort, that could be like, I mean, God, let me run the numbers there. With the reroll, yeah, that's easily just bare bonesing it out, that you're rolling right in the middle. That's easily close to 40 wounds that you can resurrect just into a unit. Now, granted, that's an expensive combo. I don't think I'm going to see it too much, but god damn, that does seem a little bit overpowered. Like, so the best thing I could do to like combat that is try to buffer them away with my trucks. So move past the objective, put my trucks in front of him to keep him away from another turn, and claim that point anywhere I can, and then choose a different battle somewhere else. And then I noticed that so when I was fighting the Lich Guard, I also discovered that there was really no way to lock the unit out, because he was always going to be within 2 inches horizontally of one of his guys, no matter what I did. So that plan fell apart. And I noticed that with even the Lich Guard, he can bring back 2d3 plus 1. And he could also use the stratagem of the Undying Legion to get back more guys. Now the Lich Guard, they do have 2 wounds apiece, but the way the way he was rolling on fire this game. He was just like, oh, look at that. There's 7 wounds just back into the unit. That's 3 guys plus another guy who gets resurrected. And then I think he did play that strat to kind of keep them alive on one leg, because I really hit him with everything that I had. And there was really nothing I could do to keep him from coming back, because because what I would do was I would attack with one unit, then I would pile in to deny him room for resurrection. But I wasn't able to deny him enough room to keep that stranglehold on the unit that I had to just deny him. There's no space, they can't come back, and if they can't come back within unit coherency, they can't resurrect. So that combat went a lot better than going up against the Warrior Brick, because the Warrior Brick, that, let's just face it, the moment his command phase starts again, just the moment he starts in his turn in the command phase, he gets an additional D6 plus D3 plus 1 plus D3 again, because of all the Ghost Arc and everything sitting there, just all of the support models going into that warrior unit again. So it would have been healed up fully. So I don't know. I think that some of the things with Necrons just getting back up, little bit of a tough pill to swallow. I can see that, like, Marines who actually get a shooting phase can take care of this stuff and actually kill enough of them to keep them at a lower number. Oh, so they're not coming back to 20. They're basically coming back up to, I don't know, they're coming back up to like 13, 15, and then I'm hitting them again. I'm bringing them back down. I'm bringing their number back down to 7. And then let's say he's out of CP, and I'm able to keep that number down to 6 warriors or something like that, and attrition them off the field or something. I mean, not having a decent shooting phase with orcs kind of hurts. Not having for sure weaponry is the best way to put it. I'm still figuring this out, and that's why I'm kind of making these videos. So, I mean, yeah, Necron Resurrection, I think, is a tough pill to swallow. I hope they kind of nerf it, to like, okay, you can't do it in my turn. You can only do it in your turn. Screw you, kind of thing.
So movement. Destroyers came out over there. He's still on that objective. He's shooting bikes with the anti-infantry guns. And then, god damn, what you got? Those will count, yeah. Oh yeah. You needed 4s?
Yeah, because it's only 6.
Okay.
So there's that.
So is it
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I don't think I got it.
Minus 1.
I don't got it. I saved 2 of them, so that's going to kill 1 completely, and 1 will have a wound. All right, so there we go.
Okay.
So just capping off the shooting phase there.
I gotta get going.
Dead truck, and then we've got the fight phase coming up over there. Whole unit of commandos wiped.
So this first game, I know it just ends abruptly and everything, but here's kind of what happened during the turn 3. I was able to fight first in his turn. So over there where the Lich Guard were fighting, I fought first, killed the ones that he resurrected, and because he doesn't have a Ghost Arc to enact protocols and he's out of CP, he couldn't bring them back on that side. And then I had piled in and actually completed the headlock around that unit, so that even if he did come back, he's going to be limited on the amount of guys that he can bring in, because one, he's got fewer characters in that unit now, because I was able to kill the Cryptomancer in there, and then 2, the Crypto Thralls are all dead, and they can't come back because they don't have enough room to come back on account of there's nowhere to put the models. You either have to put them 2 inches horizontally within one another or 5 inches vertically, and there's just no place for them to go, so you can't heal up. And I don't even think that rule is addressed. I just know that that's a common sense thing. Oh, well, you can't be in cohesion, so therefore they can't come back. Or however, I mean, that's just one of those chinks in the armor of 10th edition that, ChatGPT didn't address, because I swear to God, that's who wrote this edition. Over there, I was successful where the warriors were fighting. I was successful in killing the Necron Lord using the precision strike assassination stratagem out of there. And then right where the building is, where it ends, right in the center, The reason why I had 5 points in that one area is that my turn, the turn 2 began with me having 13 models to his, I think he had 11, let's see, 10 plus 3 is 13. And then, yeah, so I beat him by 1. I don't know how I did it. I think one or two of those Necron Warriors was out. But I think I beat him. I think it was like 13 to 14 that I had guys within a horizontal range of that objective. And again, you can't see through the middle building unless you're shooting through one of the cracks. So there was no fire going on between there. And he just sort of left the unit in the same spot. You know, it gets kind of stressful. You know, you don't think about certain things until it's too late. If he had gotten onto that, he would have won by the 1 point. So one of the things that kind of pisses me off about this game is I didn't get to take my turn 3. He had to go right before that. Again, time limits, time constraints. So this first game kind of ends with Orks winning the game by 1, but not really, because I really bounced off them, and I got really greedy. Again, if I drop a unit of knobs on you, that should just end any unit on the table. I don't care if you're a brick of 20 Necron Warriors with all the upgrades, you should just be ended. You know, that's my heaviest hitter. And like the Lich Guard, I mean, they're really good. I mean, for what they do, points wise, the Lich Guard, they really do bring it. Holy cow, of course. Let's see here. For what does their points cost? For 190 points. So they're literally 40 points cheaper than my best unit, and they get all the same buffs. They have a better invulnerable save, and not to mention they can also have a 5+ feel no pain. I mean, I could have a 5+ feel no pain too if I want to put a pain boy in the unit, but you know, it shouldn't really come to that. I mean, knobs are good, but they're, you know, I mean, what you get for 190 points for Lich Guard is like the points should be the same. You should be paying, that should be like a 250, 240 point unit right there for the Lich Guard. It just doesn't stack up. I mean, knobs are good, but they're not that good, you know, kind of thing. So, you know, that's just how game 1 ends, and we're going to go straight into the second game. Here we go. Game number 2, doubleheader, same lists, same kind of scenario, only war, and you got 4 objectives on the table. Our lists are the exact same. The only thing that's changed is the terrain, and the giant rock features this time are infinite height, and you can't see through them. Even on the skirt, you can't see through them on the skirt. So that entire area that those rocks are taking up, those outcroppings, they're just infinite height. So a lot of good cover on this level. This is like one of the few tables at my house that I can furnish properly, because you know, one thing I've noticed about Battlefield in a box is the terrain pieces are good, they're just not big enough. And I think Gale Force 9 needs to get up off their asses, and they need to sell these stupid things 3 to a pack at a slightly lower price, because I don't think that buying one piece of terrain is really all that good. It should come in a 3-pack, or hell, yeah, just a minimum of 3-pack of whatever building you want to buy. And you should get a slight discount for that, for buying the 3-pack. Oh, you save 20% if you buy the 3-pack, which is something that I do. So that's one thing. I wasn't playing on my desert terrain Gale Force 9 table. I was playing on my outdoor table, because sometimes battles are fought outside of a city, and that's a variant that I like. So that's about the only change. We've come back to this game a little bit wiser, and we're still up in the air about the crypto thralls. From what I gathered this morning, and then going back on it, that the crypto falls, they just come back as part of the unit. If they get wiped, they can come back. So there's that. And without any further ado, let's just get into game number 2 of this doubleheader.
So we are deployed for another battle against the Necrons, and hopefully we get to finish this game. We got the Orks lined up there, the war boss with his truck boys, Got the Mega Knobs over there with the unit of Squighog boys. Commandos are deployed kind of over by that one objective over there. He's got his destroyers and Spider-Bug Man. A lot of good anti-infantry with that guy's pistols. How many pistols? He's got like 6 shots by himself.
Yeah.
And then he's got one of those H.G. Wells things running around. His death marks are there. 2 vehicles, of course, you know, and then the crazy-ass Lich Guard right there. I'm always afraid of those guys. And then a big old blob of warriors. I'm not going to underestimate them again. And then the mission is only war, because that was what we were on last time. And as usual, Necrons get to go again first, which makes me cry. So here's the fucked up thing. I've lost all of my commandos except for 3 guys. They do pass battle shock though, so I will take that. Anything else of merit happened this turn? He pulled some wounds off the truck, did 2 wounds to one of the Squighog boys over there, and so I kind of got off light, but I'm not happy about all my commandos. Yeah, I like it when people tell me they can make a 5+ ward save all day, every day, no fucking problem. And that's how Necron's turn 1 went. Pretty brutal. So movement for Orks looks like this. I'm going to try to line up and tie some stuff up in close combat. Nothing really spectacular, that's all I'm trying to do. I advanced both Death Dreads, and I advanced this truck, so I just passed the objective and leave it like that and everything. So there's that. So we'll go into shooting. So first combat, we popped the CP on the Squighog boys. We're using Unbridled Carnage. And that'll give us 6s generate additional hits, which is actually pretty good there because I rolled some 6s. That was a 6, but my big fat finger did something to it. So that'll be 1. All of those hit, and then I'll take 2 more. 1 more. All right, so these are the stickers themselves. They're gonna, what's your toughness? 4. We're gonna wound on 3s, and these are AP -2. We got 1, 2 cops. All right. So you're taking 8, 9, 10 from that, and I'll rack up the next.
So that is 7.
What you got, buddy?
5 ups.
4 wounds. Or no, 5, 6.
-2. Oh, it's -1. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So the 4 won't save you. So
3.
7 die.
So I think I'll do my reactive reanimation protocols here.
Is that in the shooting phase or in the close combat?
It's just whenever I lose a model.
All right. Let this unit finish because the rest are actually going on to your boss.
Well,
Because they're not done attacking. They still have their extra attacks. So then you can do the regen step after. That's before these guys get the fight. You can do the regen step after. So he's fighting back. How many hits you get? Who are you attacking? The commandos?
so 4 hits, strength 8.
4 hits, strength 8. Need 2s. I mean 3, sorry.
So 2 -3, 2 damage each.
2 -3, 2 damage each. So him and him are gonna die. All right. So that's it there. We will do battle shock for that poor unit again, which they pass. Hell yeah. All right. And we'll go into Necrons too. At the beginning of the battle phase, I will be declaring my WA this turn.
So just let me interject real quick. Okay, once those 10 Necrons are dead, they're not coming back. He can't do any resurrection protocols, and the rest of the attacks don't transfer on to the character remaining in the unit. They're just lost. So I did do that wrong. My friend has been playing 40K for roughly a year. He came in at the end of 9th edition. He'd been playing for about 6 months, and he bought 3 armies off of my friend, and the other problem is, now he's just got to forget everything that he knows, and he's got to relearn it. And, the problem I'm having with 10th is I got to give the writing in 10th edition a 2 out of 5. It is a 2 out of 5. Like, literally ChatGPT wrote it. Now, I'll give credit where credit is due. When I was reading data slates on live stream yesterday, it would say, oh, Gazgul Magurk Thraka cannot ride in the Shinork Warcopter. But the riding for 10th is really starting to become very reminiscent of 6th edition and how much of a debacle 6th edition was, because right after they put out 6th edition, they must have waited for about 4 months. Then they announced that they were going to have a 6.5. They were going right to 6.5. They came out with a master update. They came out with 6.5, and then everybody hung out for about, I want to say, another year and a half in that edition, and they went straight to 7th. There wasn't I don't even think there was 3 years in between 6th edition and 7th edition 40K. So that's kind of the pattern that I'm seeing with 10th so far. And, I mean, I can see that they tried to make it simpler, try to make it move faster. Now, my friend's game in the other room went way faster. Again, we've imposed a 2.5 hour time limit on this one. I've got an hour and 15 minutes. He's got an hour and 15 minutes, and our clocks just count down, and we stop where we need to when we're checking a rule. So there's that. But yeah, once the unit's wiped, there's no resurrection protocols.
Beginning of turn 2, he healed that up 2 wounds, healed his guy up 2 wounds. I scored the point there, so it is 3-1. And he's going to go into his turn and take some shots at me. World looks as such. This is what it looks like after Necron's movement. He's going to try to contest that objective up by the end of the turn. I did declare the wall this turn, so I've got a whole battle round to see if I can beat some of these guys off. Off the table, not beat off. So turn 2, Necron shooting. He's starting off with the big tank, and he's going to shoot the Gauss fire array at these guys. He decided at the end to just throw him back up on the ship and get these guys out of combat and not hold the Lord model down there. So go ahead, fire away.
Alright, so hitting on threes.
Alright, cool.
These are lethal hits. So
looks like you scored a couple extra.
2 auto.
So we'll just take
hits.
These 2 right here. There you go. Now pick up the rest of your misses, or be a hit picker.
Oh wait, I wasn't thinking. Sorry. I'll just reroll these. Dumbass.
All right. So that misses, and then just pick up your misses. There you go. So there's a couple 2s and 1s. Now take those 4, pick them up. These 4 right here. Your extras, and then roll to win me. You need 5 6s. T7. See 2, 3. How many? 5. 6. What's the AP?
I think it's just 1.
Is it 1? Ooh, we got some good saves there with that roll. All right.
It's actually 0.
It's actually 0? Okay, so we take 1 wound. Can we make it? Oh, we don't. So this guy finally dies.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, and then I'll use my Doomsday Cannon.
At what target?
I'll probably shoot...
The wounded truck with the yellow face right there. So 3 shots into the forward truck right here.
2 to hit. Alright. Or actually, it's 3 now because it's heavy and I moved.
All right.
So
1 miss, and then you need
strength 15, and then it's AP.
All right.
4.
You don't double me out, so you need 3, son. You need some double 1s. 2. All right. Let's see if we can make a magical ward save happen here. Oh, well, 1 cock. 1 more chance. We save 1. So what's the damage on one of those? 4. All right. So I'll get a 4 spot out for that. Boom. There we go.
Alright, and then...
Doomsday Arc is all done. So for combats, they blew up the truck, and because of emergency disembark and everything, I literally lost most of the boys there. They got squeezed out. I rolled a bunch of 2s and 1s, which is okay. Be within an inch away of the truck because you're at the engagement range. So just, if you want to move into center and just be an inch away.
Well, because I was already technically closer to him, wasn't I?
So you can just sort of move into center like that. Boom. And then you'll technically be an inch away from everyone.
Okay.
We'll just put you right there, toe touching the objective. All right. And then there you go. And then you might be able to score it next round. All right. So yeah, I lost a bunch of boys there. Truck blew up, did 2 mortal wounds to everything, and he made his feel no pains. These guys made their feel no pains. And we'll just go from there. It goes into Orks now. So for Orks 2 shooting, we did kill some destroyers. Didn't really do anything to the Ghost Ark. Did a couple mortals out of there. I don't know where I'm going to go. I just lost way too many boys over there because the Hexmark gets to shoot every time I shoot. And so he just withered the boys down out of that squad. And then basically we got... at the end of the phase, I'll have to battle shock to see if I even have any OC. So there's that there, and these guys are OC too as well, aren't they? So the game could swing back pretty much in the Necrons' favor in the next phase. So this is going to be the one combat that I filmed for my 2, and it's the Death Dread going into the Immortals. So there's one guy there with 3 wounds left. Let's see what we get. We got some generating hits here. And it's hopefully we just leave the Lord lying around with his dick in the wind. All right, so because of sustained, we hit there. And what's your toughness on then?
On the heavy destroyer?
Aren't they a 6?
Yeah, I believe so. 6.
All right. All right, we are strength 12 when we want. So you have 8 on you at -2, sir. Oh yeah, we got them. So there's no more immortal. I keep calling them immortals. They're just destroyers. And then you want to have your Lord swing back at the Death Dread?
Yeah.
All right, get your Lord out. He's got his staff of life. I like filming a good fight. It's 3 attacks hitting on 2s or 3s.
That's 1.
2 hits. And what's your strength, boss?
5.
Strength 5, is it +2, so 7, you need 5 6s. Nothing. All right. So that's how that fight went down. Sorry, he swung with the Lord's blade, so he got a couple extra attacks, and then he put 4 on that Death Dread, and that's how that ends.
Oh, I like the Ghost Arks with the units.
Dude, those things are freaking mean. Oh,
well, but they don't. They can only carry 10 Necron Warriors, and I don't think it's too hard to do 10 wounds on a unit of Necron Warriors.
10 guys
if you concentrate it enough.
Yeah.
I just don't think they can hold a point quite as well as I would like. I would honestly rather just maybe take out the Ghost Ark or beef up the 10 Necron Warriors that I have in there and just have a second blob of 20.
Yeah,
that I could take a point with, and then if I do run the Ghost Ark,
you could run the Veil of Darkness and come behind. Yeah. So we again another 2-turner here. What happened was I was able to hurt this squad enough, but not enough. He did get back up like vigorously, and you get to get back up in your phase, don't you? Mm-hmm. And that's the annoying broken part is that he can in my turn get the fuck back up and then do it again.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think you're going to win in points. But
well,
next turn, I honestly would probably fire these guys over here, whittle them down, and then when my Lich Guard are brought back from command, I'd come back and hit you, and I might be able to get that point. But I think you've won.
So it goes to a new turn. I score 3 points because I've got at least, I've got at least 2 with this, and then 6 guys within 3 inches of that, and they're 2 apiece. And these guys is 2 apiece. Let me see if these guys are battle shocked. Right here, and you got to roll for battle shock yourself. So yeah. They are not battle shocked. So are you battle shocked? What do you battle shock on with those guys?
My command's actually surprisingly low, but I don't think I'm battle shocked.
You got an 8. I don't think you're battle shocked with that. So you would contest but not control.
The Lich Guard are a command of 7.
And then we'll
leadership of 7. Sorry.
Leadership of 7, so you pass.
I would have passed, yeah.
But let's take a look here and see if you get an extra point for that. So I would get 2 no matter what. So with everything that I've got in range, I've got 10 because of Mr. Death Dread back there. And yeah, just that really grinds my gears that he can get back up during one of your fight phases and then get back up in his turn. They almost are never going to die. I really hope that they nerf that. Because that's just like, if you don't wipe the squad, they're just going to come right back because you could do that again. I mean, you'd have to go back to my combat and defense, and then the moment I start fighting you again, you just get back up. Mm-hmm. So you're going to do it 3 times in a row essentially if that ends on my turn. Which, yeah, that's kind of total BS. And not to mention all the Necron weapons that hit me on 2s.
Over the line!
I hope you choke on semen, you fucktard! Keep your goddamn game!
So right there at the top of 3, he realizes that he's not really going to win, and he kind of calls it right there. We still had, I want to say, about 40 minutes on the clock apiece, and I was hoping to bring a more full battle report with this one and just do that one instead. But what he realized is that I had taken the forward objective, the one on that would be my right-hand side, because I was up against the wall. No. Yeah, that would be the one on my left-hand side, sorry, because I was facing the opposite end. The one on my left-hand side towards him, closer to where he was standing. I had firmly taken that one with my Mega Knobs, and my Death Dread got in, and we'd taken the Destroyers off, and so they're not going to be a threat anymore. And the Ghost Ark and the Destroyer Lord don't have enough CP, even with the Hexmark there, to keep my Mega Knobs from scoring it again, because he was going to take the center, but it was just going to take him maybe a turn to, what do you call it? Basically shoot those guys or fight the Squig Hog boys off, and then even if he's approaching from that side, I can buffer him away with one more turn of just putting trucks in his face and staying onto that objective. Now, again, we did Resurrection a lot better on this one. Again, just being able to, in my phase alone, in my turn phase of the battle round, being able to go 3d6 plus 3d3 plus 2 wounds on those warriors, really a strong choice. I did a better job of ignoring them, and now if I play this army again, depending on how it changes, I'm going to try to just box them out completely with the trucks, which is what I did. Now, the bikers, they ended up in a funny spot. Again, 12 bleeping inches is way too short a distance for the bikers. I mean, I'm just sitting here. I mean, to make them viable, it's like, oh, you can bring the Deathkiller Wartrike, and when you use high-octane fuel, you can just move 6 inches. Again, I really think that the Orc bikers need to be able to move 16 inches. Not being able to get into that back line. If I were to I would bring 2 units of bikers. I'd find a way to squeeze the other unit in. If I could just get into that back line officially on my 3. Right on 2. Just boom. I advance, done. I'm in there. There's nothing you can do. I'm already in your backfield. I've scored that secondary for engage on all fronts, or I'm threatening your rear objective, and now you have to divert resources. I think that would be really useful. I just don't think that 12 inches on the bikes is enough, and so they ended up just really out of position from where I wanted them or needed them to be. Again, Daki guns, none of the shots that I have in this army is all that threatening, because again, I don't feel that any of the models that I own for shooting are all that good. So what I'm going for with this list is just tons of bodies, a couple of counter punch units like the Death Dreads. The Death Dreads I like because he either has to ignore them or kill them. So it's like he chose to kill one and he ignored the other one. I got the other one up there. It finished off all the Necron. Oh, what do you call it? The Necron heavy destroyers, which I didn't know if he was going to resurrect or not, but I think he used his res protocols to restore his Ghost Ark to full power there. So when I in that shooting phase, so when I attacked with the Death Dread, when I assaulted him, he basically I basically phased him out. There was no unit to bring back, so I did get those points for killing that, but just. It's really tough when you don't have the destructive power of even the knobs. This time I got every knob into close combat in the center, and I still wasn't able to wipe the Lich Guard unit. Again, I think the points on the Lich Guard and the knobs, they should be reversed. The knobs should be 190 points, and the Lich Guard should be a 230 point drop, because just for what you get for those guys, it's really good. Like, really, really good. I mean, it's not like broken good, but it's up there. I'd have to put that in S tier, good. Just the best that it can be for what you get for what you pay in points. Not to mention, if you've got the Technomancer and the Lord in there, you can resurrect 2d3, and he was rolling hot every time. He was bringing back 6 guys. 6 wounds into the unit, which made it annoying, but I was able to buffer him away by having more Orc boys on that objective. And if my Squigog boys survived, I was going to score probably 3 whole points again by turn 4, and there just would have been no way for him. By turn 4, and there just would have been no way for him to catch up, or it would have definitely gotten 2 either way, which would have always made sure I was 2 ahead of him. So he just kind of called it there. We had about 40 minutes left on each clock, like I said, but yeah, they're just a tough overall army. I'd like to see what Eldar can do. I mean, just the way that I'm going to deal with them, because like I said, I'm bringing a lot of bodies, and I'm just trying to counterpunch you where I can, and I need to really learn how to ignore things better and how to buffer you away from me better, because I've got the speed to get on the objective. So like I said, what I need to start doing is I need to just bypass the objective in the center with all of the trucks, and then keep the trucks there. Hopefully they last that 1 turn. I jump out on the other side, I rally towards the objective, and I just make a big circle in the center, and then I choose a fight somewhere else where he's got less resources, and I've got just enough to tip that objective in my favor. Because again, I like the concept of bikers, it's just they're not fast enough. So maybe if I were to bring the Death Copters back again, or the Storm Boys, put them in the backfield to start threatening that objective and just go on to the objective and be like, oh, look, hey, here I am. Or I could use those, just getting into the backfield, using the conga line of Storm Boys, tagging an enemy unit, forcing them to either, hey, they might have to overwatch the Storm Boys because they're the first thing I move, or I charge with the Storm Boys and then they have to shoot them because they're the first thing I charged with, or they won't waste the CP on Overwatch. But if they disengage from me, they're not eligible to shoot or re-engage that next phase or on their turn, so that's kind of powerful, just kind of forcing you to do what I want you to do. So I'm also going to do that with my trucks, tag units with my trucks, so that if they fall back out of combat, they disengage, they can't shoot me, and that would probably save my bodies on turn 3, so that I can really make sure that I hold that center down and have that third objective. Or if I have to get engaged on all fronts, I'm already in the backfield, I'm already controlling the home objective and stuff like that. So the next thing that I kind of noticed during this one is just how much I need the maybe the Mega Boss in with those Meganovs to provide that +1 to hit. It kind of sucks that the WA banner can't join the Meganovs. Now, if it were me and I had written this, the WA banner should be able to join any unit. If it's going to be a separate thing, it should be able to lead the knobs and Mega Armor. I really do hate the segregation on the characters, because I would like to be able to have that additional +1 to hit when it comes to things going forward with the Meganovs. Again, just it's a solid unit. It's a solid counterpunch, and if I need to push them into the center, they can do it. And then I can counterpunch with the, the Death Dreads if they're still alive. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, next week will be the first game in our campaign, and that will go straight up on Patreon. But the next game that I film, that will replace the one on Patreon, and that one immediately goes to Rumble. So if you want to support the channel, link in the description below, go over to my Rumble page and subscribe there, and you'll be able to keep up on current events within the 40K crusade that we're going to be running. So there's that. And if I get a couple videos in, I might release the first crusade battle on YouTube. But always remember that if you're watching me on YouTube, you're probably going to be like 2 to 3 videos behind at any given time. So the best place for any HD battle report will be Rumble. Anyway, with that said, as you know, YouTube has many features you can use to interact with me. You can like the video, dislike the video. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram if you want to shoot the shit or get my bench updates. And until I see you again, keep fighting, keep painting, stay metal. This was another multitask night, trying to finish off some Squig Hog boys, and we'll see you in the next one. Stay metal, my friends.
More of an expert at exposing the moon. Get out of there, let's go! See if you find the one crater!